Sort of that's where the bike Vert guys gave us the big show. We go to Mark Shays and Pat Parnell and a whole bunch of inline fans who lined up a long time to see Matt Salerno and his Aussie buddy Cessa Moore. Back to the Vert prelims now.
Chris, the global cast of skaters is proving to us that camaraderie is alive and well here at the X Games 1999, especially with last year's champions Cessa Moore and Matt Salerno. What does it take to make it to the inline Vert finals? Well, it takes 20 skaters. Each of them get 50-second runs, and it is the average of the two that will decide the top 10 that'll make it. A proud dad looks out onto his son, 13 years old. Most 13-year-olds are concerned about not being able to order off the child's menu. This next one, all he's worried about, can he pull his McTwist 900 in his run here at the prelims? It's Takeshi Yasutoko.
5 feet tall, he's getting at least a foot more of air this year. One thing that he's been really trying to focus on is grabbing every single air method, then a double variation grabbing stale.
Such punctuation on his tricks. He holds the method, everything he's going for so far, for such a long period of time.
Finally going down. Getting right back into his line. Putting the hands down on the coping. You want to avoid that as much as possible. But so far, Takeshi just showing a bit of the brilliance that he and his brother both possess up on the Vert.
He has been skating almost from sunrise to sunset every day prior to the prelims, and he's feeling the effects, looking a little tired there, and that is going to finish it out for Takeshi Yasutoko, our little man from Japan.
There's a realm that Vert skaters like to go to that very few do, and that's above 7 feet. Takeshi at only 5 feet tall, 7 feet 7 inches above the coping. Here he had some trouble grabbing the feet on the flat spin, but he went so high and landed so low. And then I think he learned that trick in a dryer, in a laundromat, the 900. Such incredible difficulty.
Takeshi Yasutoko, a score of 71, the highest we've seen so far here in the prelims. If he looks familiar, he should. He is the infamous Thunder from Down Under. It's Matt Salerno. He actually looks like Gargamel from the Smurfs, but don't tell him I said that.
Getting massive air. If there's one skater who does not have an unnatural direction, it's this guy. 720.
He's just unnatural, it's wrong.
Little eggplant McTwist, he has so many tricks. I think he has the problem when he puts together a run. When he puts together a run, he doesn't even know which tricks to pull.
Right now, I'm hoping he's thinking he's gonna pull out the 1080 McTwist. With 10 seconds left in his run, we just might see it.
Locking on Soul. So many tricks. A very conservative first run for him. Little fakey 900. You wouldn't think that would be conservative, but for Matt Salerno, you ain't seen nothing yet.
He's playing it safe. Not all the chips are on the table, Mark.
Matt Salerno adds so much style to every air. 6 feet 6 inches above the coping. And then here, an eggplant McTwist. Total control, grabbing his feet all the way until he's all the way around, and then a big fakey 900, spinning like a top, leading with the head, great landing. Then he comes up on top of the ramp. I am the man. Bow down, worship me.
Not surprising, Matt Salerno, 73.75, our highest run yet. Fellow comrade Australian Matt Salerno trying to get the crowd behind this next guy. He came to the Golden State last year, left with gold. He came back this year to San Francisco, hoping to walk away again with gold. It's Cessa Moore.
He thrives on big ramps. Twice last year he beat Matt Salerno, and only twice, both on the X Games ramp. Look at the height.
skaters have been in awe. He has been boosting all through practice prior to prelims. Some of the highest airs I've ever seen Cesar pull.
Cesar also came away in the offseason and learned a whole bunch of new tricks. Invert on the extension, it's much more difficult up there because you're totally weightless.
And it's those lip tricks that will solidify a lead for Cesar going into the finals.
Big 720, fakey 900, he makes it look so easy. .540, disaster to 360 in to finish it up.
Matt Salerno approves. The people of San Francisco approve. We'll see what the judges think.
Talk about amplitude. Cesar Mora gets more air than anyone else here, 7 feet 9 inches above the coping. And look at the grab here on the 720. Totally grabbing the skates. You gotta love it.
Jaron Grove, Matt Salerno showing approval and happiness. Cesar Mora, a score of 72.50. He now sits in second place. Chris Edwards and his run when we return to the pier at San Francisco. Like so many of the kids that came into San Francisco back in '67, Chris Edwards rolled in an RV, and he hopes to drive away with an X Games gold medal. He qualified at the X Games qualifiers, and he has the people of San Francisco behind him. He's feeling the love.
You're going to see a lot of tricks that no one else is doing. Invented about 2/3 of all the tricks you see on the foot ramp.
The signature Gumby the method.
And there are harness air spinning around moving over 40 degrees.
Chris Edwards has influenced so many skaters from Australia to Japan, and especially here in the US. He's coming down the flat bottom on that disaster coming across.
These coping tricks, these Miller's picks, got there grinding, sliding across with the back wheels. These are all Chris Edwards tricks. So many skaters tried to learn. A few did, but he keeps everything he's done timeless.
Chris Edwards, legendary.
Very unique style. He's the only one who does that grab. It's called a harness air. Spinning around. Great control on the 540. Up in the air, the old McTwist. The first one ever to do it on inline skates.
And the legendary Chris Edwards, a score 65.75.
Thanks, San Francisco, I love you.
Putting him in 5th place.
Word.
You know, he's been called the Merlin of Masonite. Always been called a couple things, but I think you can call him one of the strongest skaters here in the prelims. It's Ty Chris from Paris, France. You are going to see airs up into the stratosphere. He has been boosting all day long, Mark.
He loves the big ramps. He just built one in Greece. He's been skating it every single day.
The ramp is beachside.
Unnatural 720 inverted. Twist.
And it's fair to say, over the past 2 years, Chris, his style less gymnastic, but on that 900 flat spin, he can grab on it.
Putting up into a fake invert. Backside far from it. He's got so many of these different variations of tricks. Another backside far from it. This one the opposite direction. And where some skaters do eggplant twists, he actually did a fast plant twist. That's when you blow off your foot instead of your hand.
This is on a variation. The go big style of Ty Chris.
Ty Chris absolutely boosts on the vert ramp. Grabbing, good control, 8 feet 3 inches above the top. That's over 20 feet off the ground. They're an unnatural 720-degree spin and a 900 flat spin. The first guy ever to land it in competition.
Ty Chris Chris boosting his way up to 4th place. Tactics, sometimes dirty, stakes incredibly high. It's the X Games. What do you expect? We found out what was going on with this global warfare in the halfpipe.
Who do you think is going to win?
There's a couple of good Australians here. They're just...
The sun is setting here in San Francisco, rising all the way across the Pacific in a land far away. The land is Japan. Skater Ito Yasutoko, one of the Yasutoko brothers, whipping up the halfpipe.
Spinning both directions already. 540 into a 720.
Skating so much stronger this year than compared to last.
He's a big guy. You would never know he's only 15 years old.
Well, he's a teddy bear if you get to know him. Real sweetheart. Actually doesn't speak a word of English, but somehow they managed to travel within the ASA Pro Tour and come here to the X Games. They use the language of skate.
Big old flat spin. He does it both directions. There's the other answer. This time 720 in the flat spin.
He knows arms up. He's going to play this one. He is stoked with that.
One of many spins. Big 720 spin all the way around. Good landing. Working the coping. This is not somewhere you would think that he's got it wired because he has so many air tricks like that. The big flat spin. Then the 720 flat spin.
Ito Yasutoko feeling the brotherly love, but being comfortable nudging out his brother. 71.50 puts him right above him in 3rd place. After the first runs of the prelims, France's Ty Chris sits in 5th place. The brothers Yasutoko sit in 3rd and 4th from Japan. And in 1st and 2nd, the wonders from down under, Matt Salerno and Cesar Mora holding the spots. Their second runs when we return. Welcome back, everyone, to Sunset in San Francisco. We're Pierside, center court, halfpipe. It's men's aggressive inline prelims. This is how the top 5 are stacking up after the first runs. Of course, the brothers Yasutoko and the wonders from down under, Cesar Mora and Matt Salerno, their second runs are about to happen. Most 13-year-olds are collecting Pokemons or playing hopscotch. This one, he has his eyes set on X Gold. Here in the prelims.
He's been a professional tour since he was 9 years old. Total veteran. Look at the method air. He's notorious for not really grabbing his airs, but so far, it's been his new focus.
Yoshi Yasutoko is on his mark for second run. He knows he has to up the ladder.
He's really done everything so far. A sad plan inverted. An 800, 900. He's mixing up on the coping with a nice dive grind.
Well, it's those coping tricks. He's actually second only to Tyler Fields, 76, one of the highest scores we've had in the prelims for lip tricks.
Okay, he's 5 feet tall. Above the coping, another 6 feet 10 inches. The ramp is over 12 feet. This kid's going way up. Here, the 900, good control. He didn't grab it, but when you're spinning that fast, it's very difficult to. Then look at the difficulty here, adding a little extra style, grabbing stale off the Royale.
A 67.25 will be his second score. He moves back just a notch down into 5th place. The winningest skater stands alone without his partner in crime. The Bonnie to his Clyde, of course, Cesar Mora.
And now, an X Games story tale about 2 young men that were out of line.
Yet, somehow or another, they both ended up in line.
I'm very surprised if he's ready. He's never ready. We met one day. I heard of him and he heard of me.
Matt you know, used to come home and all he talked about was assessor. You know, it was like, who the hell is the assessor guy?
And all he do is copy everything I did. It was so annoying. He's probably still in bed. Just copy everything I did until I sat him down one day and just said, look, do your own thing, be creative. What? He's ready.
What do you say we talk about it?
We hated each other for like 2 years. It was crazy. We wouldn't skate anywhere near each other.
Sasha never wears his seatbelt. Oh shit, no. We're about to die right now.
1 minute they're talking and then they're not talking for 2 days and they haven't seen each other and then they're hanging out again and fighting. Matt's the younger brother who gets sort of beaten up and dragged along a bit.
You're gonna slam on the brakes, aren't you?
I hate when he talks about himself, like non-stop. And I tell him.
I did that way back in the day, man.
Liar.
Liar?
You didn't know that's the
Liar.
He wears the same socks every time we go skating.
No, I have 5 of the same socks.
Well,
he gets wicked mood swings. That's what
no.
Yeah.
One. I had one. Seriously, I had one.
Every dirty trick in the book.
Come on, boys. Let's see ya. Go, Richter.
I love skating when he's there, even if he beats me or if I beat him, it doesn't matter. Makes me skate better. And when he's not there, it just feels like a bit vacant. The freak skates street as well as he does vert, so I always go and cheer him on when he does the street as well, and it makes me just as happy.
When he says things like, oh, I love to watch you skate, you know, I hate telling you that, but I love it, you know, you skate so good, and that just motivates me.
Come on, boys, let's split. And now this inline story tale is over. You've got it.
Vert Prelim run.
Not a lot of pressure here. He only needs a 57.7 to qualify.
He's real tense right now. I could, he's too worried.
Matt Salerno could fall with enough strength to qualify. Unnatural 540. Big 720. And a Pop-Tart. Cesar over the best. Grabbing safety, nice 540, but that was his unnatural direction. Then here's the Pop-Tart, grabbing right at the peak, holding, and then here, grabbing around, spinning, landing low, but it was a new trick for Matt Salerno.
Well, good old Gargamel gets a score of 65.25. That's going to notch him down to 4th place. We'll see if Cesar Moore can hold on to his position.
Taco Bell presents tomorrow X. Machines on the pier, freestyle Moto X, sick air, burly tricks.
Aggressive.
Welcome back, everyone, to San Francisco. We're just below the Bay Bridge, pier side at the half pipe. It's men's aggressive inline Vert Prelims with our final skaters. They affectionately sometimes call him the Dingo of Vert. I'm not sure if he likes that. That is Cesar Mora, and he is about to drop in on his 2nd run here in the prelims. With Matt Salerno looking on, as well as all the other skaters. They're wondering if they're going to see the height they've seen all week.
I don't think he cares what you call him. He skates for himself, and nobody else. Huge alley-oop there.
Off the way out of the 12-foot ramp.
It's difficult to get over 7 feet, but it's even more difficult to drift it.
Speaking of baby, it's so great to see Cesar Mora this year. He really started
the distance on this air. The entire time he's going up 6 feet 9 inches, he's also traveling sideways against the way he's turning. And then the frontside grind, this is a guy who's not known for distance on the coping. He went 3.5 panels. A solid run, and here coming in, 540, disaster backside grind. Awesome run.
Well, 5,940 degrees if you add up all the rotations.
Always qualify first, yeah.
A score of 73.50.
Is that it?
He now sits in first place with a combination of both runs. The land of the rising sun is showing its light, raining down the half pipe right now. One of the brothers, Yasutoko Eito, is on his second run. He needs a 47.27 to advance. Not a lot when you consider what he had in the arsenal.
You see some massive air. Already head high in the second wall. 540 degrees one way, then 720 the opposite.
Such power and such finesse. I noticed he's landing his airs right on the vert every single time.
Well, think of the vert ramp as a giant swing set. If you land right underneath the coping, you get a lot more pump. You can get higher on the other side.
It's definitely like it seems to work for Eito Yasutoko.
To an unnatural 720 fastball. That's how it ended it last time. This time a little bit more consistency for him was over there. One more quicker.
Eito Yasutoko under the close watch of his father Yuki Yasutoko here. Former roller derby star.
Definitely high five worthy. Great control, good grab on the big 540. Then he takes it the opposite direction with the 720. He earns extra points with the judges by doing those kind of things, and then the kind grind. He jumps back in because he ran out of ramp. And the 720 flat spin, such a cool trick and good height on it.
Eito Yasutoko, if you're keeping track of the Huckle meter, how much is this guy spinning? 4,600 degrees. He was comfortably in second. He still sits in a cozy second place spot going into the finals.
Taking a look at some of the other runs in the prelims, young upstart Shane Yost in his first ever X Games. He has all of the tricks of the biggest guys out here, the huge 900s. Solid, he lacks a little bit of amplitude, but he was consistent enough to put 6th place on the board. Sam Fogarty, he knows exactly what the judges want to see. He knows how to put together solid competition runs, and while he doesn't have all of the big tricks, he was good enough for 5th place and a spot in the finals. Ty Chris, the biggest surprise of the night. Not only did people expect him to qualify, but they expected him in the top spot. He lacked consistency, going down twice in his run, and because of that, he not only took 12th, but didn't qualify for the final.
Such incredible skating here in the men's inline vert prelims. This is how it's stacked out. Chris Edwards sneaks into 10th place. The young upstart Shane Yost grabs 6th place. And of course, the brothers Yasutoko from Japan getting in the top 5. We'll also be looking for Cesar Mora and Matt Salerno back here on the vert ramp. Everything's focused center stage here Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN, televised inline vert finals.
Aggressive inline skating. It's the men's vert final. This is a world party here in San Francisco. Really a perfect setting for this. Kind of a Pacific Rim feel. Guys from Australia and Japan competing as we get it to Mark Shays and Pat Parnell for the finals.
Chris, amidst the warlike 5 on top of the half pipe sit 2 allies. Last year's defending gold medalist, Cesar Mora, and longtime good friend, silver medalist, Matt Salerno. They're about to drop in as we start the aggressive inline vert final. We started with 20 skaters. We give it the big X game chop. We now have the top 10 competitors in the world. Each of them gets 50 seconds. We're going to take the best run out of 2. He's capable of 1080s and forward 900s. He's seen the bar been raised all week long here. Often underrated, often not recognized for his abilities. Matt Lindemuth is about to make the drop on his first run.
He doesn't consider himself the best guy out here, but he was consistent enough to become the #1 ranked skater in 1998. Look at the height.
Oh my goodness.
Landing right beneath the coping every single time.
It's a little bobble there on the top side sole. And it's this year Matt actually pulled in 3 big sponsors. He said earlier, feeling a little pressure there, gets the shuffle down the side of the ramp.
Mixing it up really well. Great variety from the coping, mixing it up with inverts and lip tricks. There's a 540. Then an unnatural 540. That's new for him.
And ends on the shuffle like a rock star, even before the clock on that.
Matt Lindemuth lands so high up on the transition, and that is the key to getting big air. 7 feet 4 inches above the coping, purely because of how high he lands on the transition. Then the big 540 to the left, then he spins it around to the right. It's much more difficult to go your unnatural direction.
This is his 3rd X Games. He's hoping for a medal. A score of 75 just might guarantee it. Matt Lindemuth now sits in 1st. Ayumi Kawasaki and proud dad Yuki Yasutoko look on as the enormous, towering 5-foot Inferno is about to drop into the ramp. It's Takeshi Yasutoko.
I asked him before the competition who was going to win. He said he was. The only person who disagreed with him was his big brother, Eito.
Last year, he was the mini Grom of the ramp. He's a whole half-foot taller this year, and it shows in his skating mark.
900 inverted, coming right out of a flat spin. Then working the coping, nice kind grind into an invert. What a great line.
He is pulling this crowd into a full lather. Lofting, huge on the spins, locking onto the lip tricks.
Part of the reason he is so good, check out the style there. Part of the reason he's so good is because his dad owns a skate park. He spends every single day after school skating for 4 hours.
Still knows how to work the crowd, though.
Check out where he lands. Pretty high up on the transition. What that means is a lot of air. He's only 5 feet tall. He's getting over 7 feet above the coping. 19 feet 3 inches. Then, boom, grabbing, kicking out, flat spin, going for the double grab, and then upside down, 900-degree spin, completely inverted. Super difficult. Then he goes for a grab, into a royale, into a grab. Just upping the difficulty on every trick.
So 1/2 of the brothers Yasutoko now sits in 5th place. A skater with the blood type skate positive Japan's powerhouse Eito Yasutoko, and the top qualifier Australian wonderkind Cesar Mora. Their runs when we return.
Yasutoko brothers no longer just a cute family act. They are serious skaters. You saw his dad there. He owns a skate park in Osaka.
Supporting the athletes and their sports.
Oh yeah, party people, it has reached frenzied proportions here at the Vert ramp. They're waiting to see the formidable and freakishly consistent Matt Salerno, last year's silver medalist on the Vert ramp.
This guy has more first places on Vert than any other skater in the history. But the X ramp has always been his nemesis.
This is what you call a high-octane run, Mark.
Why does he win? It's because he's able to spin both directions. 720 one way, then 720 the other. Flat spin one way. All of the tricks, he can do both directions.
Now he's pulled a 1080 McTwist once. The question, is he going to do it in his first run?
Oh, going down, that pretty much puts a nail in the coffin of the first run. A very good run, but with 10 seconds to go, he's not going to find himself in the medals unless he does better in the second run. Nobody spins cleaner than Matt Salerno. Grabbing safety, perfect 720. Then up, and a 900 fakie style, very good control.
Only 2 lip tricks, but on the Huckometer, 4,060 degrees of rotations. If you're keeping track of the spins, he's now tied for 6th place. He is the other half of the brothers Yasutoko. Look at the smile. He feels the love here in San Francisco. Not only skating for his dad, but also brother Takeshi.
And for himself, you know he wants to win out here. If he's consistent, he's completely capable.
In between runs when these guys are practicing, he's one of those skaters that's dialed into that channel Z, just focused on learning and pulling off the newer tricks.
Probably because he doesn't speak much English, so he's not distracted by all the other skaters. So far, he's just mixed it up so well. It's a little formulaic because he came in and did all the spins first. But that's not an awful idea because that's when you have your most energy.
He comes from a family rich in skating heritage.
Flat spin into a 720 flat spin. This is what he did in the prelims.
He loves it. The people of San Francisco love it. Gets a double claim on that one. I'm taking that one to the bank.
That run better than either of his prelim runs. Coming up with the huge spins, grabbing safety, nothing too difficult about that, but the spin, such control. Then coming up with a porn star grind, taking it alley-oop all the way across the coping. Here's the 720 flat spin, the most highly touted trick of last year. His brother loves it. And I believe that he's going to try something bigger than anyone else the entire night.
He has put the max air gauge to the test here tonight.
In typical fashion, just going absolutely huge. Now working the extension. Oh, and a frontside royale with lots of control. He was having a little bit of trouble with that. Then going back the other direction, spinning in.
Many more lip tricks for Cesar Mora when compared to years past.
Oh! 1080! 3 full spins. He learned that late in the season. He did it during the World Championships, and he became the world champion. Sometimes one trick can put you on top.
Cesar Mora awfully happy along with Matt Salerno with that great run.
Cesar Mora lands right beneath the coping on every air, kicking up the huge rocket, 8 feet 4 inches, the only skater to break into the 8-foot realm. Tricks become so much more difficult that high. The big spin, nice royale, good control. Cesar doesn't normally like doing those types of tricks. And here, 1, 2, 3, full spins, a 1080.
Cesar Mora, a score of 74.75, good enough for 3rd place. But Eito Yasutoko sits in 1st place after the first runs. The best run counts. The second runs when we return as Eito Yasutoko continues his reign of the vert ramp.
Fine, fellas. Meanwhile, for a complete recap of all now, Pat Parnell and Mark Shays.
Welcome back, folks, to the pier. It's the men's aggressive inline vert final. High above the Goodyear Blimp Eagle has been providing these aerial pictures. 1999 marks the 74th year for the Goodyear Blimp fleet. We are in the midst of the second runs. This is how the skaters pile up. It is the best run that counts out of the two. Still to drop in our leader, Eito Yasutoko, Cesar Mora, and Australian Shane Yost. You're about to feel the fury of the Tasmanian Devil. It's Shane Yost. He spins to win. I lose track just watching him when he hits the vert. Here he goes on his second run here in the vert final.
Shane has the ability to spin both directions. You're going to see him do a 900 flat spin, guaranteed.
He knows it's vital that he sticks it. He's landing smooth on the vert. He is right on the cusp. Right now sits in 4th place.
There's a regular flat spin 540, unnatural 540 flat spin. These guys have been watching the bikers and skateboarders pull newer and more difficult tricks. They're a big 900 inverted. After seeing Tony Hawk pull a 900, you got to think that some of these guys are skating more for the sport than just to win a contest.
I spoke to Shane earlier. He agreed. He is skating for himself here tonight. He wants to push the envelope, pulling that huge 900 flat spin.
There it is!
Oh! He tried to do it, narrowly missing the top of the vert. Rolls out of it. He looks a little disappointed. He should be stoked, though.
This was one of the most difficult tricks last season, a 540 flat spin. Well, now he can do it both directions. Then he comes up with a beautiful spin, 900-degree rotation, inverted. Nobody was doing that trick last year. And an eggplant McTwist in the middle of the run. And then 900 flat spin. Tide Chris did it 4 days ago for the first time. Shane took 4 days to learn it.
A score 73.75, unable to push Shane Yost in the top 3. Our leader, Eito Yasutoko, sits and waits to see his younger brother, Takeshi Yasutoko, try to climb the ranks of the vert finals. He needs a 79.25 to lead.
It looks daunting, 10 full points, but Takeshi can do it. He had a little bit of trouble with consistency on the coping. Huge method air.
He was boosting on that mark, getting so lofty.
Double grab, flat spin. There's the 900. He landed higher this time. He's got more speed.
Shamalama. You gotta love that.
Nailed the kind grind into the invert. Oh. That is too bad.
And that is a lip trick he has been pulling throughout practice. 15 seconds left. If anyone can make amend to a run like that, it's Takeshi Yasutoko. Look at the crowd. They're on their feet right now.
Twice.
And a disappointing second run for Takeshi Yasutoko. He started so strong out of the gate, Mark.
Takeshi is only 5 feet tall, getting huge height on an old school method air, 7 feet 10 inches off of the coping. He had such momentum early in the run, huge flat spin. That's what gave him the timing to grab his feet, and then the 900 inverted. Eito, he knew that if Takeshi could just stay on his feet, he could have put together a winning run.
And Takeshi Yasutoko gets a score of 69.25. He's in 7th place. The big guns of inline vert, last year's gold medalist, Cesar Mora. His good friend, last year's silver medalist, Matt Salerno. And Japanese skater Eito Yasutoko gunning for his first X Gold. Their runs when we return.
Aggressive.
Welcome back, everyone. We're pierside. It's the men's aggressive inline vert final. 3 skaters still to go. One of them, our current leader, Japanese skater Eito Yasutoko. This is unfamiliar territory for an unfailing and unbelievably consistent skater. It's Australian Matt Salerno, last year's silver medalist.
Second place is about as low as he ever places in a vert competition. Right now he's sitting in 9th.
And earlier, speaking with Matt, he said he might hold the 1080 McTwist if he had a good solid first run. But sitting in 9th, I doubt if we're going to see it.
Working the ramp very well from side to side. I tell you, he has such a quiet, clean style. It almost works against him here. He's going to have to pull something unbelievable. They are working the coping very well, though.
That is a new trick in Matt Salerno's arsenal. He comes up, half cab, kind of fast plants up to the top sole, and continues.
1080, nice and low.
Matt Salerno, little gift. Gift with purchase, Matt Salerno's helmet goes flying out into the crowd of San Franciscans.
This run a big step up for Matt Salerno. Spinning around one of many different types of rotating flips. Then coming up 1080. Everyone's used to seeing Cesar pull it. Matt finally pulls it. Great control up on the extension with the invert. Look at the spins. He is so good and so controlled.
And the dominant Matt Salerno, his second run, he now is tied with Matt Lindemuth for second place. It is the other half of the brothers Yasutoko, and once again he is asking for a little help from the city of San Francisco. They are on their feet. They want to see him up his second run over his first.
Eito already sitting comfortably in first place. But with Cesar still to skate, he's got to pull it all out.
And the Yasutokos came here on a mission.
Coming in, achy into the absolute unbelievable oversoul, alley-oop style.
He is well on his way of squeezing. And
soul grind down to a drop soul.
And every skater on the deck is applauding that one. Serious progression.
There's the flat spin. 720 flat spin, he nails it every single time.
And from the city of Osaka all the way to San Francisco, Eito Yasutoko does a stellar performance. Father Yuki cheering on and getting hugs from every single Japanese skater we've corralled here into the pier.
So many good tricks. Coming up with a beautiful porn star grind. Then up here, nice soul grind. Check this out. Dropping down into another soul. That is so difficult. He knew it when he hit it. Big 720 flat spin. He hits it every single time. Another incredible run.
And Eito Yasutoko's second run ups the ante with an 81. Cesar Mora is going to have to beat it. Last year it was a battle between these two. Now it's between Cesar Mora and Japanese skater Eito Yasutoko. He got on a plane last year, left San Diego, on his way back to Sydney, got off the plane. He had X gold in his hands. It's going to take a score higher than 81 to do it again this year in San Francisco. Can he do it?
Cesar's got so many tricks. Huge rocket. Great style on the 540 going from end to end.
Maximum respect for that huge carbon 540.
Back with another one, he landed a little bit low.
If there was ever a time for Cesar Mora to skate his best, it is right now.
Spinning around into the soul grind, top side. He pulled the 1080, but he's got to keep going with the tricks.
Serious progression, backs it up with an invert.
540, disaster. Reverting it back in.
And Cesar is invincible right now. He's not going to stop, Mark.
720 to a 900 to finish it off, but not as clean as we've seen him. Oh! Long after the buzzer, a little soul grind to 270 in.
And Matt Salerno saying, what's up? What's up? That's my dog.
Cesar Mora comes down from a huge method, lands right underneath the coping, comes up with a rocket. You can't do it any straighter than that. 7 feet, 1 inch above the coping. Huge amplitude to start the run. The 540, almost 5 panels, but he landed a little bit low and lost some momentum. Here, a huge 1080. That's 3 full spins, and then right at the buzzer, a 900, 2.5 rotations. This kid spins like a top. Ato, he's appreciating the whole run.
And Cesar Mora, last year's gold medalist, is unable to snatch the first place from Ato Yasutoko. However, he does get X Games silver medal. Well, the wonders from down under are going home with medals. Matt Salerno gets a bronze, Cesar Mora a silver, and the Japanese skater who came out flawlessly, executing 720 flat spins, natural, unnatural, ushering in the new era of aggressive inline vert. Ato Yasutoko goes home with the gold.
So Ato is now the 5th consecutive gold medalist.